My name is Gemma. That is not the name I was born with. Most species cannot pronounce the sounds of my people's language. So, like many before me, I chose a name that would let me move through the wider galaxy without constantly explaining myself. I was born aboard Nerath the Exchange. It was a trade station, a place where ships docked, deals were made, and nothing stayed for long, including people. My earliest memories are of movement, voices, strangers passing through our home as if it were another corridor. My mother ruled that household completely. Her presence filled every room. Men came and went. I never learned which one was my father. I never asked. It didn't seem important to her, so it wasn't important to anyone else. She lived without restraint. Drinking, substances, impulses. There was always someone willing to give her what she wanted, so she never had to build anything for herself. For reasons I've never been able to fully explain, even as a child, that life repelled me. Our home was unstable, loud, angry. When she was frustrated, I was close enough to absorb it. I learned early how unpredictable affection could be, and how easily power could turn cruel. I promised myself I would never become her, so I left. Leaving Nerath the Exchange was not dramatic. No one tried to stop me. I was young, alone, and suddenly surrounded by opportunity, much of it dangerous, much of it tempting. There were many ways a girl like me could survive. Most of them would have been easy. I chose a harder path. I found a woman who agreed to teach me. I will call her Melinda, not her real name. She had lived many lives: scavenger, performer, trader. She understood ships, cargo, routes, and people, especially the kind who smile while planning to take everything you own. From her, I learned how to be useful. Navigation data, communications, how to read a route not just for distance, but for intent. She taught me to stay quiet on open channels, to listen longer than I spoke, to notice what wasn't being said. On ships like ours, being unseen was often safer than being respected. I learned how to make myself indispensable without becoming visible. I did not want to remain on Nerath the Exchange. Every voice, every corridor, every recycled breath reminded me of what I had escaped. There is no point pretending otherwise. I am Orion. Pheromones are a part of what I am. I was raised knowing how to use them, how to lean on them when necessary. Sometimes they were the only thing standing between safety and harm. I have used them. I regret that more than I like to admit. Control is possible, but it is not effortless. It requires constant attention, discipline, restraint. There are moments when containment is harder than others. Moments when vulnerability replaces control and privacy becomes necessary. That is not something I share lightly. Eventually, I left Melinda's mentorship and signed on with a trade company. My role was technical: navigation, communications, route optimization, avoiding threats. In Orion space, that last part was optimistic. I had traveled through Federation territory before. They were different, structured, predictable. Their sense of fairness felt almost naive, and yet it worked. I liked that. On one mission, I learned our company was cooperating with a pirate clan. We would act as bait. A Federation trade fleet would be drawn in. There would be losses, cargo, ships, lives. I knew the plan because I was the one relaying the messages. I tried to tell myself it wasn't my responsibility, that this was simply how trade worked where I came from. But I remembered being powerless. I remembered watching people suffer while others justified it as tradition. I couldn't do it again. So I contacted Starfleet. If I had been discovered, I would not have survived the consequences. But I sent the information anyway. Starfleet was already nearby. They always were, near Orion's space. They intercepted the pirates before the trap could close. No lives were lost. Mine very nearly was. I asked for asylum. Instead of suspicion, I was met with order, questions. calm. The captain listened to everything I told him, not just what I had done, but why. He didn't promise me safety. He offered me a choice. I didn't know what my life would look like in the Federation. I only knew what it would look like if I went back. Starfleet wasn't perfect, but it was rational, disciplined, predictable. For the first time in my life, that sounded like freedom.
One clip has young Gemma pickpocket then return wallet. The USS Horizon fires from wrong part of ship. Orion merchant ship has stars moving backward. And the last clip has the USS Horizon with a weird neck. Thank you for watching my channel.